Good morning, good morning. How are you all doing today? And happy Monday. All right, let's see. Got my water, got my other stuff. And hello, it's Sitsu. How are you doing today? We are back to Axum, right. We had sort of started finishing that up on Friday, and I am looking forward to being back in this. Okay, so I need to open this one. All right. So, what do we got here? So we got our learning Axum backend test. I need to start the backend server. We can do that. No major issues today. Well, that's good. That is very good. All right. So let's see. Want to right Docker. It's always like the Monday and just sort of getting back into things. It's like just like going through and forgetting all the commands that I want to do. I want to do the next is the no, not trunk serve because that's front end. I want to do the cargo watch. Okay, so you're gonna run there, and then for back end tests, I want to npm probably. Let's see if this works. Oh, I think I need to source the env file. This will probably fail. We got a 405 for everything. All right. Well, apparently I don't need to do the source because user cred all worked. All right. So next up is task cred for creating the task. All right. So we should be able to create a task. Oh, you know what? You're right. I added it to the package.json file. That is a good point. I completely forgot that I added it in there, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. As long as I do the npm test command, it just works. So a good point. Okay, so task CRUD, create a task, should be able to create a task. Request failed with status code 405. What is 405? Doesn't show what line this is in here. I don't think we have anything that's like specific to 405, right? DB routes, tasks. Oh, we have a get all task. So I would expect this would be a post. I wonder if there's some other problem here. It's actually I can't tell where that's from. Let's go back into our backend tests. Find you. Okay, so this is task CRUD. Create a task. Oh, but there's this before all, so obviously things can go bad there too. We create a user. We should be able to create a task. Here's the new task. Result await. Create the task. And I post to here. Now in create task, let's see if I get to this point at least. I wish I could see it as each test was completing or failing, instead of just waiting until the very end. Okay, so I got here. All right, so that's it didn't fail in the before hook. So we can move down to here. Let's see if we've got here and a result. Oh, my guess is there can't be, right? This has to be the problem. Uh, this must be the problem because there's no other call out unless it's the after all. But I can't imagine because this is saying create task that just does the post for it. Interesting. And a 405 is weird. What is a 405? Method not allowed. Oh, is it because I don't have a post on there? That must be what it is then. Okay, so I can get rid of the here. Interesting that I would choose that and not just a 404. I'm used to it. So an express, that's a 404 if you don't have the method. Here, there's no post to tasks. So I guess it's method not allowed. All right. So let's head into tasks. We're going to do a pub sync function create task. Okay. And we'll hook this in, and then it'll probably start yelling at me that we're not actually doing the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna do a post. Create task, import that. I think we're happy. All right, so this should be a different error now because it's the method is allowed now. Yep. Okay. So different errors now. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading ID. All right. That feels weird that it would not be a 404. That would be a 405. But I guess it kind of makes sense too. All right. So we actually need to create the full task now, which means I first need to get what we're taking in, which in this case, we're taking in priority, title, and description. So in tasks, I want pub struct. This is incoming task, or maybe request task. All right. So what do we got? We got priority. You are a. I want to say that's just a character. Title. And description. Do I have in the DB for tasks? Okay, so we have priority. Oh, that's a full string. Okay, so I might as well just make that a string. That's also optional. So I need to make that option. Title is not optional, and description is optional string. Okay, so I think we need to derive, serialize, and deserialize. And then that will we'll pull that in. In users, we have an example of this. Here is the request user coming in. And right, it's just JSON request user, JSON request user. So that's pretty easy. It's actually, just to stay consistent, I want to move this to the top here. Okay, so create task. We're going to take in a JSON request user, and your type is JSON. Oh, not request user, request task. Okay, so we will return a response user. We'll get to that in a little bit. I guess we need a database too. So how do we do this with users? So we create user. Okay, we'll have a user response struct here too. Okay, so we need to create that. And right, this is going to be data.data. So it's going to be the same exact thing. And then we'll need a task. This will, I guess this will be response one task. So that will be a task. I probably could use generics here. Maybe we can play around with that a little bit. Okay, so you have derive. We want to just serialize, deserialize. And we are going to return. Okay, so a result with the JSON user response and then app error. So response one task and then app error. All right, let's put in a to-do so it doesn't yell at us yet. All right, so we need to create we need to actually create the task. So coming in, we're getting this. We need to basically do this user's active model. So we need to do tasks, active model to get a new user, and then we can set all this stuff on it that we want to. Okay. So let this is gonna be a new task. Yeah, I think that's right. Text active model. The struct fields. Okay. You don't want to multi-line this? Oh, there you go. Now you want to multi-line it. Okay, ID. We're not setting this, which means we need to do the default. Priority. Okay, so we have the priority here. So we need you to be request task dot priority. So oh right. It's not exactly that. It's a set. Okay, so set priority. So request has priority. Failed to resolve. Oh, wait. Why are you going there? And why are you request task? What? Oh, dot priority. There we go. Okay, never mind. Title. Okay, so this is going to be a set. Request task title. Completed at. Gonna leave that default. Description. We're gonna set this. Completed at default. User ID. We need use set, don't we? Oh yeah, we need use set because we have the headers here. And down here we send it with the headers. The headers includes right the create user. The create user then creates this headers where we have the XAuth token and the user token. Okay, so we need to same as don't think we're carrying, I think we just show all of these regardless. Feels to me like we need some middleware. Do we have something like that? Not really that I see. Wonder if we can do that in a layer where we like pass in a function that does it, or if there's actually middleware that it can handle for like authentication. Okay, so login requires authentication. So this is manually done inside this route. So basically, I'm repeating myself over and over and over again here, where I'm grabbing out the token, finding the user. If I find the user, I return it. Otherwise, we error out. And then we can do stuff with this user. So to get this to work, let's say for right now, I would put this directly in here. We're not going to keep this. All right. So first of all, we need to get the headers out. So that this headers map. All right. Users is going to be this. Let's see. We are using the layer thing, right? Okay, so then when we're creating the new task, we have access to the user here. So user ID is going to be user set user.id. Oh, because it's an option model. So then we need an if let some I mean, really, what I want to do is probably handle that in a match here. Okay, so if this is an OK and a sum user, then return the user. If it's an error, we do this. And if it's a OK none, I probably want a slightly different error. So return error, app error, new. Wolfristad, hello. How are you doing today? Status code. This is unauthorized. Excellent. That's good. I'm a little bit tired today. It's the weather's changing. And so there, go to bed and it's decently warm. Wake up and it's super cold. Maybe not super cold because that's going to come when it's actually below freezing, but it's like significantly colder when I wake up than when I go to bed. And every year when that happens, or at least when it first starts happening, I sort of like am much more groggy in the morning, which is when you get out to see me. So that's great, right? Okay, so we have error, and then this is could not find user. We'll do that. Okay, so now we definitely have the user here. So this becomes user dot ID is default. This is definitely going to be a set false, which I suppose could be expected and option I32. Oh, okay, so you're a sum. And you need to be an option too, don't you? Expected a option bool. Okay, so well, none. So that is null for this. Feels a little bit weird. Okay. So that gives us the new task here. We want to then create the task. So new task dot save. Hand it a reference to the DB dot await. Okay, so that gives me a result with the active model. Okay, so it gives me the result of the active model and a DB error. So we need to match this, and this gives me the created task. All right, so if this is okay, we have the new task, and we return the task. If this is an error, we return an app error. This will essentially be a server error, so like a 500. Dota 2 Attitude, hello. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Well, happy Canadian Thanksgiving for everybody who celebrates. See, I'm building my favorite favorite kind of app, a to-do app with unfamiliar attack. Yes. That is my favorite type too. When I was teaching, we used to we had a section in the course which we called courage time. It was an entire week. Our the code school I was teaching at, we did longer cohorts than like most of the other ones. We took an entire week up for this, and it was students, I think, mixed reaction from them, but I think it was like the most important week essentially. And that was where, hey, we've been teaching you all this stuff for like the last several months. Now you have to implement something in a technology that you have never used before. I don't care what it is, just do something with it. We called that courage time. And I think that was one of the things that like helped us get the outcomes that we really wanted to. So I need something where like it's just a 500. Internal server error. And then this is the error, and then we'll just throw in the error. Yeah, I had taught at a code school from 2015 to 2018, and I mean, it was really good for the time that I was there until they the problem with most code schools is that they're for profit, and eventually a if they have like a board of directors and they have like VC funding, eventually the VCs demand that the code school um what is it called, scale in infinitely in profits, and that you just can't do that with education. Well, at least you can't do that with education and have the education remain good. And so I left before. I left when they started trying to do that. I know some other people that went on to other code schools, and basically it's just okay. Everything's great. It's amazing education. It's really good, and then that happens. So if you are trying to find a code school, find one that isn't like profit isn't the number one thing that they're going for, and also like double check to see like if the instructors are like actually good. Must be where rustations come from. It's a thing. Okay, so this gives us the task. So we have this created task. Okay, now I want to return an okay JSON. This is a response task. Yeah, response one task. Response one task. Data. Okay, so then we'll fill you. Did I not fill you with stuff? I did not fill you with stuff. Okay, so what do you expect? You want an ID. I'm gonna put you over to the side. So data, okay, task. So you want a pub ID, and that's probably going to be an I32. You want a priority. That is, I think you have to exist. So that's going to be a string. Although we have it as an option, so let's just keep it as an option. Actually, I think in JavaScript, it won't like turn into any other data structure. It'll just be the thing, or it'll be null. Title. Okay. That is definitely a thing. Completed at to be null. So pub completed at, and you're going to be an option with a string aside. Okay, so data in here. What? You can't. Oh, it's data. Oh, and then this is going to be a tat. No, don't do that. A task. Okay, so ID. This is going to be a created task.id. Created task.priority is an option string. Okay. Mismatch types, expected. Wait, what? Okay. Expected an I32, found an active value I32. Okay. How do I have the deref here? It's not how to get the data out, is it? How did I get the data out before? Create user. We're doing okay result. Result is JSON. User response. User response is Oh, see, like user that ID user we got here. Oh, I didn't use the new user one? Seems odd. There's a way for me to convert this, right? From an active model. Okay, so create a test dot. What do I have here? Oh, this gives me, okay. This gives me the active value dot. Okay, active value. So I get ID, it's an active value dot, and there's not really anything here. Okay, take me over here. All right, CRM. Oh, this is my thing. All right, I need to remember how to extract out from an active model. It would be nice if there was something like a get, or I guess like, is there like a get or something here? Oh, there is. Okay, so we get, oh, look at this. Get just gives me active value, whereas if I get the thing, like ID itself, that gives me the active value already. So, okay, active value. Oh, I can unwrap it. Okay, so they have an unwrap, which unwraps from the active value into its thing. Okay, so if I try the same thing, okay, I don't know if that's actually the right way to do it. Now you're upset because uh, everything's upset here. Unreachable expression. Nice. Is that because of the to do? Why is that data? Okay. Mismatch types, expected enum, option string, found option date time. Oh, okay. So I need to turn this into a string. So I can, okay, so I now have an option of a C or M date time. I want to map this. I get the completed at, and I want to turn the completed at. Can I turn you to a string? Okay, which gives me what I expect it to be. And then we're returning that. All right, let's see if this works. Maybe it's thinking about it. Okay. Created task still failed. Let's see where it failed on. It now failed on description. Did I have description here? Oh, I didn't have description here. Okay, so basically, I got to the next lines. So we got the title, we got the completed at, that's null as expected, and now it's description. Okay, so continue. So just continuing on here. So our task here, we're gonna have pub description. You are an option string. We expect it not to have property user ID, and we expect it not to have property is default. Okay, well, I can just not put those in there. Okay, description. Same thing here. Created task dot description dot unwrap. Let's run you again. Now, after we get this done, we can commit, and then I want to figure out a way for us to create some middleware for the authentication side of stuff. Oh, and here we go. Okay, create a CRUD, create task, should be able to create a task. All right, so then what's left in here would be should not be able to create a task when not logged in, and cannot create a task without all required data. Okay, excellent. We'll get to that soon. Let's go ahead and commit this first. So, and create a task. All right, next up. This is just not nice to have inside of this method. I really want to start here where we're creating the task and we're actually setting it. And if we get to this point, we want to be able to assume that the user is logged in. So I want to go take a look at C or M. Let's go find their book or their documentation. I want to see, do they have like middleware? Wait. This is not CORM. Sorry, that's the database. I want Axum. I want Axum Rust middleware. Middleware. Okay, there are several different ways to write middleware for Axum C middleware. Okay, utilities for writing middleware. Axum is unique in that it doesn't have its own bespoke middleware system and instead integrates with Tower. This means the ecosystem of Tower and Tower HTTP middleware all work with Axum. While it is not necessary to fully understand Tower to write or use middleware with Axum, having at least a basic understanding of Tower's concepts is recommended. Well, let's actually try this part first, which is not understanding how Tower works. Okay, we can add middleware just about anywhere. That's the easy part. Well, that's what we're going for. And hello, Bansi. Okay, applying multiple middleware. It's recommended to use Tower Service Builder to apply multiple middleware at once instead of calling layer or route layer repeatedly. Okay. Wait, so does a layer, is layer essentially just middleware? Is that what I'm doing? Ordering, when you add middleware with router layer or similar, all previously added routes will be wrapped in the middleware. Generally speaking, this results in middleware being executed from bottom to top. So hold on. What am I doing here? So we're adding this layer here, and then to me, my sort of mental model is this layer is just adding data in, but this is middleware that's now making the extension available to everything above it, which seems weird to me. Like I would have almost expected this to have to be up at the top. Think of the middleware as being layered like an onion, where each new layer wraps all previous layers. Oh, it's opposite of what I thought. Okay, so this goes at the bottom because everything else comes. Oh, weird. Okay. It feels weird to me because I'm coming from something like Express where it's not an onion that you're unwrapping or wrapping things in. It's just an ordering in which certain things happen. Okay, so then based upon this, we want to determine routes what routes are essential for login. So we have this is create user. A create user needs to be, no, that's not authenticated. Login, not logout is. So this goes up here, let's say. Get task requires authentication. And create a task requires authentication. So if I put that there, then the idea is that this will be creating a layer, and we're going to do something here. So this is going to be whatever this is goes here. This is like enforce authentication. It's a little more complicated in practice because any middleware is free to return early and not call the next layer. For example, if a request cannot be authorized, but it's a useful mental model to have. Right, exactly. So in this case, this layer that we're going to build is going to check to see if there's any, if the token is present, if the user exists, and it's going to return the user to everything before it. And if it can't find the user, the token doesn't exist or anything like that, it's just going to return early with a like 401 error. So we do service builder new. Oh, this is for multiple middleware. But it does impact ordering, which is a big thing here because I want these to exist here, and then I want another layer here. Executing middleware top to bottom is generally easier to understand and follow mentally, which is one of the reasons Service Builder is recommended. Well, okay. to me, it almost feels like it would be better to just stay consistent, right? Like if we're going to be going from bottom to top, then just stay bottom to top. And Service Builder to me now is more confusing because of that. Axum offers many ways of writing middleware at different levels of abstraction and with different pros and cons. Okay, so we do Axum middleware from function to write your middleware when you're not comfortable with implementing your own features and would rather use the familiar async await syntax. You don't intend to publish your middleware as a crate for others to use. Middleware written like this are only compatible with Axum. Well, yeah, that's fine. That's exactly what I want to do, is the simplest possible. So without even looking at anything else, we're going to use from function. So I'm going to create middleware in here. I have mods all over the place. I have some uses up here. Let's clean this up a little bit. All right, keep all those together. Have a mod middleware. Okay, so then instead of you, I want a and this creates a from function layer when I call it. Create a middleware from an async function. Hey, look, here's an auth example, exactly what we were looking for. Well, that looks exactly as we expect. So we just create a new auth. They're using generics, but we don't have to. Layers look like just like parameter sorting. Kind of does, yeah. It reminds me a lot of well, I mean, I guess like any backend routing system, and like the order it has, and when you can sort of like customize when things run. All right, so we're gonna do pub async function. I don't necessarily want to call it auth. I want to call it like maybe protect, or like required auth required. I want to make it really obvious when you look at this what happens. All right, so if I just do the bare minimum here, so the request is a request B, and okay, so result is response. Okay, next. Where does next come from? Oh, next is this. Okay, so next B. Okay, so we return okay, next run. Oh, and then that's why this has to be generic, is because it's the request coming in from everything. So we do have to have a generic request here. Okay, so we need to have a type. This is request. This request is a type request, which is that type. We are going to, oh, and then we also have next. Next is this next B. So it's exactly the same type. Next T. And then we're going to return a result with a response and an app error. Okay, so here we are with you. Let's return a to-do, make you happy. Now, if I come back to you and I try to use this, so this is going to be a middleware from function and then pull that in. So let's use middleware auth required. All right, so that's middleware from function. Middleware. Nope, wrong. Oh, I shouldn't call this middleware because this middleware is lowercase from this. Oh, that's too bad. I could just quantify it. We can do Axum middleware from function auth required. And yes, we don't pass this in. That'll be passed in by the middleware. All right, back to you. Okay, so in this point, we want to come back to task and essentially take this and throw it in here. So, all right, we're going to start by headers. Now, can I just pull in whatever I want here? Interesting. So I can just grab this off of rec.headers. Huh. So I can kind of. So this will be request.headers. Wait, nope, wrong file. I want to be in here. Request.headers. Attempted to take value of method headers on type request. Method not a field. Use parentheses to call the method. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we do headers like that. Then we can do our get. Okay, so then we just have status code here. Import you. Right, we need to. Okay, find, import some traits. Oh wait, no. Okay, so in this case, we need to grab the DB. All right, so next up, to get the DB out. So if this was how we got headers out, how do we access? Stephen, hello. How do you go back to sleep? Well, probably not watching the stream is the first thing. Like for me, just going back to sleep is usually trying really hard to empty everything from my mind, trying to be relaxed and trying to be in a place where sleep happens. So that usually means like I might try like a little meditation or something else. Nothing around. Sometimes a reset is required, so I might just get up, like get dressed, go walk around the house or something like that. Then come back after 15 minutes and try again. But everybody sort of has to learn their own method because their own bodies and minds are different, right? Because the way it works for me might not work for anybody else. Okay, so I need to get the DB. So that DB equals, so I want out of the request, I want. So we have those extensions. Oh yeah, it's extensions. Okay, extensions dot get. What do you expect? Oh, I give it. Okay, so get requires a type, so it's going to be this database, which is the database connection. And then we unwrap. Is it like it's okay or else? I think. Okay or else. If we have an error, does it actually pass an error? It does not. Have I done Yoga Nidra? Somebody asked me. No, somebody told me about Yoga Nidra the other day. Um, I haven't looked into it yet. I've heard that it can be really useful in going back to sleep or getting a really good night's sleep. But I haven't tried it yet. Have you tried it? Okay, so okay or else. Oh, and then we were gonna question mark you. So what's gonna happen is you need to be an app error. So we're gonna return an app error new status code. So status code internal server error. And then the error. What? Error is gonna be error. Error getting database connection. It felt like you were leaving your body. Oh, interesting. Hey, okay, so now we have a database connection here. So this is how we get the database connection out when we don't have our own request, but we have a very generic request. Okay, so then users, so then you are this DB here. Oh, you're already a reference. So I could just do that. That gives us this user. So all the way down here. Okay, so then we need to make sure that the user exists. Well, I guess like if the user exists already, um, like can I add this user into a layer now? Like let's see if I do request dot. So we can do extensions. There's no layers. So what if we do extensions? I can't do a set. I can do an insert. What are you doing in this example here? So we're getting the auth header. Oh, look. So if the token is valid and that's all they care about, then run next and then pass in the request. I want to state can be passed to the function like so. Oh, you can just add things here like that. Well, that's nice. How about if I want to add something? Okay, this is what I did. Okay, so we have this request T. So want I'm seeing all these from request parts, results. What am I missing? Axum HTTP. Wait, is this not Axum? Is this tower HTTP? Okay, so hold on. Let's go to. Can I go to this? Not really. Okay, so this is Axum HTTP request. Okay, so Axum HTTP. Oh yeah, re-exports. Okay, so pub use HTTP. You are. Oh, this is just from HTTP itself. What am I trying to accomplish with this middleware? So two things. First, I want to just validate that the user is logged in. So if I do just this on its own, that will great. That will basically allow me to return, hey, if you're unauthorized, which is great. But it would be really nice if I could then add the user itself that we found into the request that we pass on to the next thing. Um, so if I do request dot, there's mutable extensions. So if I do that dot, I could insert a type into this extensions. Okay, example. So we have new extensions, insert this. Oh, and that's going to be a none, an option type. So if I wanted to get almost like an active, like a user model, uh, I guess we could just do one thing at a time, right? So if I just put this on here, so I don't actually care about this, right? If you're okay, I don't need to return a user. So we found a user. The token was good. then in that case, I want to return an okay next. What do they do here? Okay next run. And pass in the request. Type annotations needed. Okay, so this is okay. Next run. Oh, data waits. Okay, you're still upset. Oh, if I remove you, then you're happy. Okay. Otherwise, return the error. Maybe I need to have like a custom session struct. Maybe. Luciano, hello. Version 06 RC2 change extractor and state. Oh, right. Did you update? I bet you updated. So in Axum. Oh, there's only 0516. Is the new recent version. I wonder how much that changed things. Yeah, I knew that there's the new one with 06 is going to change everything again, but I'm trying to stay with like the deployed version so far. That'll be a fun sort of update when that happens. All right, so if I just do this, and if we have you in there, then theoretically, in these routes, we don't need you here anymore. Oh, but we still need the user. Otherwise, this is like completely useless, right? Because, for example, in create task here, I need the user to get the ID, the user ID. But I suppose I could create a special user struct. So it's just it's not like a model or an active model or anything else. It's just our own struct, and then pass that in. I think that's what you're talking about at Sitsu. All right. Unfortunately, I've run out of time, so I don't think I have like a full time to do all that yet. Running the test again, I don't think is going to matter at all because I don't think I've really done anything. Because I haven't removed any of the checks in the other routes. So we're gonna have to do that next time, which is gonna be tomorrow morning. So let's first go ahead and send this on up. So created middleware to get user. User is not yet being passed to next routes. I assume it breaks because you need to use nests that only affects specific routes. I guess that's the idea, is that I want it. Yeah, and that's here. So I want a user object to be available to these three. Whereas the user object will not be available to these. But like database will be. And heck, I could even do this because hello world doesn't need a database or a config. But these other ones do. So this is probably a bit more correct. I'm not going to add that in there. Okay, so we'll sync those changes up. This is all great. All right. Well, I don't have anybody to let's see. Well, it's 8:20. I've got to get to my day job because I do work as a web developer, although not in Rust every day, which would be nice. But no, I'm working in JavaScript and Vue and all the good stuff that is a native JavaScript and native front end. But I do these streams every weekday morning from 7 a.m. Mountain Time for about an hour and 15 minutes or so until about this time. And let's see, I'm streaming Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday this week. So I will be back tomorrow and we'll continue on this. The next step is to try to figure out how to get the user that we create in this layer here accessible in here. Or at least something that looks like a user, because that's all we really need. All right, so with that, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a great rest of your Mondays, and I will see you all next time. Bye.